Hello, I'm back again. I wanted to go over my full push routine. It's just what I'm doing right now for strength, muscle, and also for calisthenics performance, right? I'm just trying to get everything improved, right? So I start off with some deep push-ups, alright? So parallettes, raising my hands off the ground, makes my chest stretch out more, and it means I get a lot less reps, and it makes the exercise harder, which allows you to get more of a muscle building rep range. And well, this is just a warm up for me because I've done these for so long now that even these are easy. But yeah, so that stretches out the chest more, just gives me overall a better warm up. So I do 2 to 3 sets of that before I come here and I get up on the beam. Right, so this is just like a rack that holds pull-up bars and stuff. You can do it on a squat rack, but basically the idea is to straighten yourself out and get your mindset in the right place before you do handstands, right? So this allows you to know what a straight position actually feels like before you start handstand training. So I do 2 sets of that just until I start to feel a little tired. I don't go all out or anything because I don't want to fatigue myself for this part. And you got to understand, even advanced calisthenics athletes fail the handstand quite often. So like me, I managed to get a 30-second handstand, but I mean now I'm really trying to straighten out my handstand, so it's taking me a lot of attempts, a lot of training, just a lot of repetitive kick-ups over and over and over again. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. Almost every day I do these 3 exercises, just because it doesn't fatigue me for anything else, right? Nothing I've done so far fatigues me. I can also do L-sits every day, so that's what I do next. I do L-sits between the handstand training, just so that while I'm resting, I can work a different part of my body, and it just saves time. So I'm not like resting more between sets of L-sits and between sets of handstands. I can just go from one exercise to the other. It's really efficient that way. So as you can see, L-sits are quite difficult. I was shaking through the whole of that. If you're going to try them out, just make sure you start today, alright? They're not something to leave until later, just because they take a bit to get used to, and you can do them every day. You might as well. But yeah, so after I fail the handstand more, I go into handstand push-ups. Now, this is a push day, so I am going to be fully working my shoulders, my triceps, and my chest, and handstand push-ups are perfect for finishing off the shoulders. Not even finishing them off, just really working them. I don't really like shoulder press or anything like that, so I prefer to do stuff like this to work my shoulders. I usually do 2 to 3 sets depending on how I'm feeling, and between those sets I warm up for ring dips. So all I'm doing here is negatives, right? I just come down fairly slowly and then drop and then jump back up and come down slowly, because going straight into ring dips, they're quite an advanced exercise, so you need to warm up, right? Like, you don't want an injury, so this gets the chest all stretched out fully, as well as those push-ups I did earlier. It just makes sure everything is warm and good to start the actual working sets. So I usually do around 4 to 5 reps of these, just because even that's quite difficult. I don't want to fatigue myself for the actual ring dips before I move back onto handstand push-ups, right? Handstand push-ups are great for building the shoulders, and if you do it face to the wall, then it allows you to lean forward at the bottom, and that mimics an actual handstand push-up much better than if you have your back to the wall. So this is how you want to do handstand push-ups. You want to lean forward into it before you push back up. You don't want to be going straight up and down, right? That's not how you do handstand push-ups. So that's what I'm doing now. This eventually will allow me to get a handstand push-up without the wall, provided I do some negatives and stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to move on to ring dips now. I like to do just like a little muscle up to start them off, just because why not? I love muscle ups, I can't lie. So I usually get around a few sets of like 8 to 10 If I get less than 8, then I have a quite an off day. But it happens. Sometimes I do end up with 6, and I really try and get at least 3 sets of 6. But yeah, so I do a few sets of that before weight training. So I only do 2 weighted exercises for my chest, because all of that other stuff, I mean, the ring dips, some of those push-ups as well would have fatigued me a little bit. I don't really need to do too much. As long as I go hard on all of these sets that I do, I don't need to do a crazy amount, right? So I only do 2 sets of incline bench dumbbell press. I don't do bench press because it messes with my shoulder. It's actually my bicep tendon, but it connects high up, like in your shoulder. So you actually feel it in your shoulder, and it feels like a shoulder injury, but actually it is just overworking the bicep. So I do a lot of weighted pull-ups. I cannot bench press as well as doing weighted pull-ups, but I can do these. So that's what I do. If you can't do something else. If something causes you pain, do something else, work around it. So that's exactly what I do. This is still a great exercise. In fact, this is arguably better for muscle building because you can get a deeper stretch in your chest with dumbbells. So yeah, I like to do a heavy set and then a light set. On this day, I wasn't feeling the strongest. I don't know what it was, to be honest. It was pretty late and I did work all day, to be fair, so that could be it, or it could have just been an off day. You can never really tell. The main fact is I wasn't as strong as usual, which is fine. I just worked as hard as I possibly could still, went to failure on both of these sets, and that was it really. That's all I needed to do for the pressing movements of chest. I do like to have a pressing movement and a fly, so these both allow you to, the pressing movement allows you to press a lot of weight, right, and it hits your chest in a different way to a fly. And the reason you include a chest fly is because it stretches your chest out much more than a pressing movement does. But yeah, anyway, I like to rest my chest a little bit, so I do some shoulder raises in between my working sets for chest, and these work perfectly. I love doing these. This along with the handstand push-ups, perfect for building the shoulders. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but my shoulders still growing, still getting bigger, just because of everything I'm doing with them. And yeah, this can be supersetted with rear delts as well. So I bend over when I can't get any more, and I just do some rear delt raises. This is great for working the bicep tendon, funny enough. So if you want to build strength in your bicep tendon, which can be really useful if you're doing calisthenics, then do the shoulder raises with these rear delt raises. I'm aiming for quite a few reps, at least 3 sets, just to really finish off the shoulders. So because of how hard I'm working on these, I really don't need to do any more. Like the handstand push-ups, and those, like, more than enough volume for my shoulders, more than enough intensity as well. But yeah, so this is my chosen chest fly exercise, the pec deck. I prefer this over cables just because you don't have to stabilize the pec deck with your forearms, whereas with cables you really have to keep the cables steady. Your forearms have to work hard to move them in the correct path to do the exercise, right? But here the machine does it for you. It stabilizes you much more, and it's much easier. It feels just much more, it just feels smooth, doesn't it? Like on a cable fly, I shake more, like it just doesn't feel as good, and I can't get nearly as much weight. And I do like to use heavier weight for still around 12 to 15 reps, because it is a form of resistance, right? Like as long as you're getting more than 12 reps, you've not got a high chance of injury, right? And if you can choose an exercise that allows you to do a heavier weight with the same movement for 12 to 15 reps, well, it's a no-brainer really. Just do that one. Like you can put the muscle under more strain, tear the muscle more, build more muscle. Alright, it's simple as that. And I do like to do some partials at the end there. I really tried to get 3, only got 2, but it just shows that I really like go to failure on everything. Which is, again, it's very high intensity, which means I don't have to do too many sets. So I did 2 sets of the pec deck. That combined with 3 sets of the ring dips and 2 sets of incline bench press was more than enough for my chest. I'm actually, this is 2 days later, still feeling my chest. Like I'm a bit worried actually, because it's chest day today, so I'm gonna have to go easier. But yeah, the point is, like, you can substitute volume for intensity. I spent a lot less time training those than I would have needed to if I didn't work as hard. But yeah, for my tricep exercise, I chose tricep pushdown. I don't like tricep pull downs with the rope because your forearms have to stabilize the weight, right? Which means you can't lift as much weight, you can't do as many reps, and it's just, yeah, it's not as good of a stimulus for your triceps. So I did 4 sets of that with partials, going to failure before I went home, lived like 2 minutes away, so, you know, still had a pump, and yeah, just went to check it out. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I think the workout, the pump kind of speaks for itself, right? If like, it was a really good workout. I love doing this workout. I don't do anything that I don't love to do. So yeah, I hope that you could take something away from this this video. Alright, this is just what I'm doing, okay? And this is what I feel is best for me, because I do calisthenics and weights. But having said that, if you do like these videos, please give me a like and a subscribe. It means the world to me, and I have a lot of knowledge that I want to give out. I just want to share my tips, advice, just anything I can really to help you guys. But yeah, I will see you all in the next video.